Welcome to the Boomer Briefing Podcast, where we help you solve a critical business issue in 20 minutes or less. I'm your host, Jim Boomer, CEO at BoomerConsulting, and I have a special guest with me here today, Jacqueline Lombardo. Welcome, Jacqueline. Great to see you.
Thanks, Jim. It's great to be here today.
Yeah, you bet. You know, we've decided to do a few episodes to help all our listeners learn a little bit about our amazing team. So, Jacqueline, you're next up. Jacqueline's a project manager here at Boomer, and today we're going to get to know Jacqueline a little bit better. So, I'm going to start us off with my first question. So, why don't you kind of tell our audience a little bit more about yourself, what you do at Boomer, how long you've been here, and kind of the backstory of how we found you and you found us, and you are now on the Boomer team.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. So a little bit about me. So prior to coming to Boomer, I was a branch manager at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And while being a branch manager, I also went and completed my master's in human resources, which is through the University of Scranton, Pennsylvania. But a little over 8 years ago, I saw Boomer posted a job posting, and I decided they looked like smart people, so I thought I would apply. So fast forward, I actually ended up starting my career at Boomer in sales. So I was actually hired to do our vendor sales and work with our vendor sponsors. And a couple months into being at Boomer, the project manager role opened up, and I raised my hand and jumped into that, and then was able to move into that role, and we hired somebody to backfill the sales role. And ever since then, I've kind of been evolving my position at Boomer over those 8 years. So with what I do currently, so I am a project manager. So I work closely with our consultants, mainly on our consulting engagements, so one-on-one consulting with our firms that we work with, and our training programs like our Lean Six Sigma Green Belt. I also work with our leadership and talent team on our human resources. So that's all on performance management, hiring, our benefits, all of that good stuff as well. And then I also am our team lead on our intellectual property. So that's working, as you know, with you and Gary and our intellectual property team, really around the organization, protection, and publication of all of our intellectual capital here at Boomer.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we need to find you some more things to do to fill up your time, right?
I think so. I think we could find a few more things to add to the plate.
No, yeah, Jacqueline is a play on the name of Jack of all trades. She's got her hands in a lot of important stuff, and a very, very, very valuable part of the Boomer team, and someone that if you don't know, you should get to know. So let's step aside from the professional career and talk a little bit about you. Personally, what do you like to do outside of work? You know, tell us anything, family, hobbies, anything like that. Pets?
No pets, but I've got my parents' little 2 French bulldogs that I can see if I need a little dose of pets and cuteness. But in terms of what hobbies and interests, so I am a big outdoor enthusiast and travel enthusiast. So my husband and I do a lot of camping, off-roading, hiking. For those who don't know, I'm in California, so we have a plethora of places to go. Also love spending time on the water, whether it's paddleboarding or my parents are in Florida, so spending time on the Gulf Coast. Travel's a big one as well, whether domestic or international travel. So recently got to knock Hawaii off my bucket list, which is always a good one. And then unfortunately for my husband, we do a lot of DIY at our house. So we pretty much redid the whole house minus 2 rooms. So whether he's ready or not, you can probably find me with a hammer or an air gun. And my husband, hoping I don't pull too many things apart, but we have a lot of fun doing that. And then recently I moved to California about 6 years ago, and I now get to live in wine country. So we have about 85 wineries in our town. So I've gotten into kind of learning more about wine and the varieties and learning just kind of how it's made. So that's been kind of a fun journey to learn.
Yeah, that's a fun hobby that is can get to be an expensive hobby too.
Unfortunately, yes. I have realized all of my hobbies are very expensive. So my cheap hobby, I would say, is reading. I love a good murder mystery, so that's my cheapest hobby that I have currently.
Well, cool, cool. I know you're a big traveler and always up for an adventure. I also know how stories you've told me of. You're never scared to start a new project. I think Joe's often scared that you're starting a new project, but
Yes.
yeah, I would like to be that way, but I think I'm scared of Mary's reaction if I went and started something. She knows my lack of DIY skills, so
Yeah,
uh,
he is great at DIY. So, I mean, luckily he is a great support team player, but it also works when he travels out of town that I can DIY and finish it before he gets back.
well, great. So I'm going to switch us back to Boomer. What is it that you enjoy most about working at Boomer, whether that's internally with the team or with clients or both?
Oh, definitely both. I would say the internal standpoint, for me, it's the opportunities. So, I mean, as I mentioned, I've evolved my role. All of those things did not just come year one. So, I think there's always an opportunity to try something new, or, we have our innovation team that there's always new innovations and new ideas coming out. So, being able to work on some of those, whether it's like finding a new technology to help support and automate things, or just a new service we want to try, I think there's a lot of opportunity to see a wide variety of how we can help firms. Also, the flexibility, as I mentioned, my parents are in Florida. I did grow up on the East Coast, so the opportunity to be able to travel back there to see family and friends and still be able to work and have that balance is huge for me. And then I also love our clients. I mean, I get to be part of our talent circle, which is our HR professional folks in firms. And they are fantastic to learn from and kind of see what I can learn from them to take into Boomer. But on the flip side, just working with all of our clients, I mean, our vendor sponsors, our other clients, communities, trainings, it's just fun to kind of learn more about the accounting profession and see like what they do on a day to day, how they make their firms better and the industry better as well.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing about what we do. We have no shortage of opportunities to continuously learn.
Oh, none at all. I mean, I think every day is a learning opportunity, which is kind of, for me, is fun.
Yeah.
So I like, and I love new challenges. So that's always a good one too.
Well, great. Well, speaking of challenges and I guess achievements, what achievement, whether it's in your professional or personal life, are you most proud of?
Ooh, probably my master's degree. That I did that while working full time, a lot of hours, and I think it was really eye opening to kind of find something that I loved, and just being able to complete that and now apply it to where I am in life. I think it's given me a lot of life skills that work personally and professionally. So I would say probably completing that master's degree.
Well, that's a great one. And I would agree, having done my master's, I think it takes a few years and some experience before the
Yes.
things that you learn in a master's program become more applicable. Like early on in your career, you're like, that was all great stuff to know, but it seems theoretical at my level.
100%. I mean, I was actually looking back at some of my notes because I was cleaning stuff up, and I remember being like, when is this ever going to apply? And now it's like, oh, that's what they're talking about.
Glad I didn't purge all that stuff, right?
It was for digital files, so we got rid of the physical files.
Yes. Yeah. Um, so, who would you say is your biggest inspiration in your personal life or career?
I'm going to have to go with my parents. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a pretty easy one, but both my parents have been huge inspirations in my life and supporters, and they're big like people who've pushed me to get outside my comfort level. So, like my mom was the one when I'm in college who convinced me to do a study abroad program in Spain. She didn't really give me the option. She told me I was applying and put me on the plane at 18. So she knew me better than I knew myself. So that was really great. And then my dad is one who's a big DIY person, so I've learned a lot of the skills of life of how to fix things and or break things too at times, and then have to fix them. But yeah, they're my biggest inspiration, and they're still. If I'm having a bad day and I need somebody to really give me a not feel good answer, my parents are the ones to call, and they will help me level set a little bit sometimes.
Well, always know when you go visit them, you always speak very highly. So I had a suspicion that might be your answer
Yeah, and
for that one.
yeah, 100%. And I mean, it's also been really cool. They both are retired now, and to see how active they are, and they're on boards of their boating club and just involved in like the Elks Lodge, which is just really neat to see how they give back at times too, even as they're kind of retired and getting to enjoy what they've built in life.
Yeah, so it sounds like your mom put the travel bug in your mind. You've mentioned travel a couple times here and a few of the places, and this is probably going to be a harder question for you because you have been a lot of places, but what is your favorite place that you've ever visited?
I don't think that's a fair question. um, oh gosh, I'll give two. I'll do an international one and a domestic one. How about that?
Sure.
International, I'm going to have to say Norway. So I also did live in Norway for almost a year. And that is, the Scandinavian countries are just absolutely beautiful. It's some of the best memories I have of travel, and I still have made some lifelong friendships of friends to this day, who live in like Germany and Vienna, Austria. So I still am in contact with them, get invited to their weddings. So it was a great time to experience all that, and I highly recommend Norway. And then I'd say domestically, my husband and I love Mammoth Lakes. So as I mentioned, the camping,
Yeah.
And hiking, that is one area that is beautiful. So they've got a lot of like natural hot springs, and then just a lot of geological sites because of the volcanoes that are up there. And then a lot of hiking, off-roading, amazing skiing during the winter if you can get there, considering I think they got 1,000 inches of snow this year. So
A lot of snow.
it's a lot of snow. But
After no rain, no nothing for several years.
Yes. So we're actually excited to try to go over there if we can get there over the next couple months, because all the passes are still covered in feet of snow, but it's just a beautiful landscape. So, and it's hard to get to. So not everybody wants to make the effort to actually get there. So it's pretty neat to be able to kind of see some of that.
Well, two great places. So what is one you mentioned you just marked one off your bucket list? Where is the place that you have not visited that you would most like to visit?
What laundry list of places would you like?
What's the top one? I'm going to make you pick one.
Oh, I don't think I have a top. It's hard. I would say Africa.
Okay.
That's I think a bucket list. Like I'd love to see a safari. That I think would be really interesting and just different from a lot of the places I've been. I also haven't been to South America, so I would love to go to South America as well. So those I would say, if I had to make a short list, are two of the places that I would lean towards first.
Yeah, that's cool. I haven't been to Africa either, and but the people that I know have made that trip say exactly what you're imagining. That it's just amazing. It's a different experience, and it's beautiful. So hopefully you get to those places sooner rather than later, and I have high confidence you probably will. So, all right, favorite food or drink?
Tacos.
Tacos.
I love tacos.
I'm with you. It seems like, Mary and I could make tacos most nights. Just, flip through what your main ingredient is, and you got a little different flavor to it. So.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you can also do breakfast tacos, dessert tacos.
This is true. Very versatile favorite food. So, what about favorite place to shop?
So I'm not a big shopper. So that's a tough one, but probably like REI, because I can get a lot of outdoor gear. workout gear, camping gear. So again, it gets me in trouble. I try to avoid going there because I end up spending a lot of money. But REI is probably the top of my list.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a big shopper. I'd rather do Amazon or, well, the beauty of all the online stores is you can go and just order it from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, I just hate the return process.
Yes.
That's the piece I don't like, but your Amazon can get me in trouble as well.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're going to do a little this or that to close things out here. So start with California or Florida.
California.
Okay. I know you enjoy your visits to Florida, so I thought that was going to be tougher than what it was.
The humidity in Florida is next level.
Yeah.
I melt.
This is true. Beach or mountains?
Tie.
Nope. It's this or that, Jacqueline. You got to pick one.
A beach into a mountain?
A beach surrounded by mountains?
See, I would have to say mountains if I really had to choose, but they're tied in my book.
Okay. Travel by plane or travel by boat?
Both. I mean, plane, you can go further.
Yeah.
And in less time, I mean, you could probably travel the world in a boat, but that's like 100+ day cruises, which, I mean, I'd be up for it.
I'm with you. I would choose by boat, but again, it would make a difference how far I was trying to go.
Yes.
All right. Delicious or healthy?
Deliciously healthy? Probably healthy. I mean, I love delicious, but I think you can make healthy food delicious as well.
Yeah. Last one, Jim or Gary?
Gary.
Gary. And you didn't even pause, and I didn't have time to tell you I was talking about, one of our teammates' cats that are named Jim and Gary. But you choose Gary with the cat?
Gary the cat. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not doing very well at this, whether the Jim cat or the Jim human on this question, but
I mean, you and Gary would be pretty tied, but Gary is just somebody, it's Gary.
I'm with you. He's a pretty awesome guy.
I mean, he did found the company, so therefore I gotta pick Gary then, right?
We all need to be thankful for what he's created and the opportunity he's given us. So exactly. I'd agree with you. I would choose Gary too. So, all right. Well, we're going to wrap things up here. Thank you so much for spending a little time chatting with me today, Jacqueline. And for our listeners, if you enjoyed this conversation, we release new episodes every Tuesday morning. We got to know Jacqueline a little bit better today, but we also cover topics related to talent, leadership, process, technology, and growth. What all the topics we have in common is that they are crucial to your firm's success and helping you solve a critical business issue in 20 minutes or less. So even though this was a special episode, we truly believe it's crucial to your success to know our team and to have those relationships, and that way we can help you even better. So if you like what you heard, please subscribe, and thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jacqueline.